lo hará diferente en el año que nace la serpiente. 1977, no me diga no, que no lo presiente. Todo lo que cambia lo hará diferente en el año que nace la serpiente.
Denver Broncos, Mile High View, no commercials, no bullshit. Well, you're going to love this. I have been bitten by a spider in the nose, right, the septum. And I look like the incredible Mr. Lippet. My upper lip is swollen. Whew, anyway, it's no fun. So if I sound off, I mean, that's the reason why. Anyway, Scangarello. You know, I usually lead I'm the tip of the spear as far as Bronco channels are concerned, and I brought up Scangarello and questioned the hire. Why everybody was cheerleading on the state-sponsored sports radio. Just in my post game, I brought up replacing Scangarello with possible candidates. So state-sponsored sports talk radio, and I use the word state-sponsored because ever since I started this channel, they really have been promoting themselves as the voice of truth. We're not a part of the Dove Valley team, and we're objective, and we're not cheerleading and bandwagoning. And I have to disagree with that when you got people like Mark Schlereth just defending Scangarello in the most absurd ways. But I'll get into that later. And yes, Scangarello's been up against a wall with everything that's happened. He's a rookie offensive coordinator on a crappy team. Can't deny that. No O-line really to speak of that's any good. Yes, player personnel issues, for sure. I won't deny that. Rich Scangarello, I thought, was brought in because Joe Flacco was brought in, and Flacco could kind of mentor Scangarello a bit in play action. The reason I brought up the dismissal of Scangarello, and he could reemerge somewhere and be a really good offensive coordinator down the road, was it hasn't anything to do with being aggressive. And sports talk radio, the state-sponsored radio, they want to keep hammering this aggressive. He's not aggressive. My take is this. Can you just have good play design, number one? And two, can you make adjustments, obvious adjustments, not just adjustments at like halftime, but obvious adjustments. And this goes back to the Broncos with Joe Flacco and but matter of fact, I think the Oakland game, game one. I mean, Oakland was bringing delayed blitzes, and Scangarello had no answer for it. And this has actually been going on throughout the season. It wasn't just one game. Teams that saw that, and Scangarello doesn't have the sense to, until it's too late, to put in blocking. Fullback and maybe a halfback. At least some blocking, even a halfback. He's late to make the adjustment, and that's one thing I've noticed about him. Play design. Mark Schlereth was using one of his worst plays as a way to defend him. You had Lindsey waiting to get a ball and thrown to him behind the line of scrimmage. We'll get into more behind the line of scrimmage with Scangarello. And it's just a bad play design. I mean, you're going to tell me, Mark Schlereth, that Philip Lindsay just isn't good when in a play where you're throwing behind the line of scrimmage to your back, who's sitting there, has to turn and wait for the ball, which gives the NFL caliber linebacker. I mean, he's waiting for that play all day. Lindsey has no blocking whatsoever. And you're going to sit there, Schlereth, and defend a horribly designed play, a play that favors the defender. San Diego thought they were going to be clever and run the same play with Austin Eckler. And it also went for a loss because it's a bad play. It's not a good play. I mean, Mike Schlereth, how about this, for God's sakes? Can you make the linebacker have to work for it? When he's sitting there licking his chops as the would-be receiver, halfback, turns to catch the ball, can we make it a little bit tougher? I mean, I'll give San Diego. I'll give the Chargers credit. They only ran that play once, but the problem with Scangarello is he doesn't know when things don't work, and he keeps trying to. And is it player personnel? Yes, some of it, but you're going to tell me that Lindsey is the problem when there's no blocking for him, when it's a play design that really has the defender's best interest in mind, or the defender is going to be able to 9 times out of 10 make that play. And like I said, can we at least design plays that make those linebackers have to work? And again, how Scangarello uses player personnel. Why can't we see Lindsey utilize exactly like Austin Eckler? We know he can catch. I haven't seen him drop anything. But you keep wanting to put in Freeman. Now let's go back with designing plays behind the line of scrimmage. Running tight ends and bubble screens. Not even even Josh McDaniels knows when it comes to these tight ends is to get them downfield. That's where they're most effective. You don't see Gronk running a bubble screen. You watch, and they would throw to him downfield. It's just poor play design. Pass, maybe you should have there's times you should throw the ball. You should show some confidence. And there is an argument to be made about Scangarello's lack of aggression. When on the last play of the Charger home game, it wasn't Scangarello who said, we're going to chuck this downfield and see if we can get a PI. I mean, even if it doesn't work, the time runs out anyway. And you go into overtime. It was kind of a nothing to lose, but yet Scangarello was going to take a knee, and it was Fangio wanted to get aggressive. So you can't just poo-poo his lack of being aggressive and say, well, you just don't have players. Well, their players just made a play that resulted in a game-winning field goal. I mean, why wouldn't you do that? But you're Scangarello, you're going to take a knee. There's no defending that. But, this is only a small part of the whole Scangarello equation. The other part of this Scangarello equation is, how do you develop Drew Lock if that's going to be the direction you go? I'm saying I'm not sure that's really what they're going to do. But you've got to develop Lock so he can read defenses, so he can change plays and change targets before the ball is snapped. Okay? What do you bring to the table to help him learn how to read defenses? Maybe that was your upside bringing you in. That you did a great job in San Francisco developing quarterbacks. So is that a case to keep Scangarello? My biggest issue with Scangarello is Rich Scangarello's stubbornness to run obvious, poorly designed plays and sticking with that as they fail play after play after play and not understanding, yes, you need to move on. So I don't know. The other question is, who would be available to replace Scangarello? Do you get the quarterbacks coach for the Ravens I'm just throwing it out there. That would have to be, looked into in depth. And I apologize because, for being just like down in the dumps here. But I had to get it out there because I put it out there, and then state-sponsored sports talk radio. Oh, it's crazy to think that to replace Scangarello. No, not really. Not really. It's not crazy at all. But we have to find out the question really is can we get better at that coaching? And of course, yes, the player personnel has to be upgraded. That's for sure. The Sports Talk state-sponsored radio is right. It's not all on the coaching, but it's, for instance, when Slareth is defending Scangarello out of one side of his mouth, then talks and says, no, they're not utilizing Philip Lindsay to the fullest, contradicting his unwavering support for Scangarello at the same time. Am I saying he should be replaced? What I think should happen is that we should seriously look at candidates that would be an upgrade at that position. That's really what I'm saying. If they're out there, then we should jump on it. Yes, I do. But if the upgrade isn't there, or it's marginal, then you could just go ahead, just for stability reasons, keep Scangarello. But hunting down possible offensive coordinators should be an off-season topic.